Paul Keating was born in January 1944 and served as Prime Minister of Australia, the 24th person to hold the title, from December 1991 until his electoral defeat in March 1996. He was able to successfully challenge his predecessor Bob Hawke in the Labour Party's parliamentary group in the Australian House of Representatives. He had earlier served as treasurer in the Hawke government from 1983 to 1991. As treasurer or finance minister, he oversaw the introduction of a large number of reforms intended to liberalise and strengthen the Australian economy, such as the Prices and Incomes Accord, the float of the Australian dollar, the tariffs elimination, the financial sector's deregulation, and reform of the taxation system, including the introduction of capital gains tax, fringe benefits tax, and dividend imputation. His relationship with Hawke, however, started to deteriorate, and in 1988 they secretly agreed that Hawke would retire after the next election. In June 1991, he unsuccessfully challenged for the leadership, believing that Hawke had reneged on the earlier agreement. He resigned from cabinet, but mounted a second challenge 6 months later and emerged victorious. Despite the early 1990s recession, he was able to win the 1993 federal parliamentary elections, and even with an increased majority. The Keating government focused mainly on economic issues in its first term, introducing compulsory superannuation, creating an infrastructure development program, and initiating the privatization of Qantas, Australian National Airlines, and the Commonwealth Bank. In later years, his agenda centered more on social and cultural matters. He participated in the history wars and helped make republicanism and indigenous rights the subject of national debates. His government established the Republic Advisory Committee and enshrined native title in statute law. At the 1996 federal parliamentary elections, he suffered a landslide defeat to John Howard's Liberal National Coalition. His personal approval rating as a precursor to that massive electoral defeat had reached historically low levels, with opponents portraying him as an elitist and out-of-touch prime minister. He left parliament after the election, but in retirement has remained active as a political commentator, defending his government's legacy. Since leaving office, he has received consistent praise for his role in modernizing the economy, particularly during his period as treasurer. Evaluations of his overall prime ministership have been more mixed. He currently lives in Potts Point, New South Wales.